Hi guys, it's Elena and I'm enchanted to have you be here on my channel. Hello and welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're new, consider liking, subscribing, becoming part of my little YouTube family. We have tons of magical fun here, and if you've been here before, hello and welcome back. On this video, I figured I would share with you how I personally will set up my 2021 bullet journal planner. I have a couple of other plan with me videos up and around if you're curious to check them out, but for this 2021 planner I decided to make it a little bit more witchy-esque than I have before. So I decided to turn this whole making process into a little bit of a ritual. As you saw me set up the candle, I kind of dressed it with herbs for protection, new beginnings, and kind of an intention of wonderful things for the new year. That way the candle is burning while I'm working on stuff, and again putting in some nice and lovely intentions for my journal. So as you see here, I got a brand new journal for starting off the year, and I believe for next year I'm going to break up my journals into 2 journals each for 6 months. So this is kind of 2021 planner for the first 6 months. As you can see the difference of my past planner, how chunky that guy got, and this is so thin and slim. And it was just like crazy to see the difference of just how much I used my other journal and how much I wrote in it and things like that. So I'm pretty darn excited to get this one to be a nice and chunky journal as well. So for this journal, I decided to do a little bit of an embossing at the top. I have done it for the previous journal. If you saw the very faint rose that I had on there. So this one I'm using a moon and rose type of stamp with like a lilac powder. I'm fairly new to embossing. I haven't had too much practice with it, but I think this time around it came out a little bit better than last year's, and I hope it's going to stick around on my journal for just a little bit longer. And I love doing this. I find it's a very nice way to kind of customize it and decorate a very inexpensive bullet journal. And this bullet journal has been kind of my staple or my favorite throughout many years, not just the previous bullet journal, but I have a collection of a couple of these, and I believe they are fairly inexpensive for the quality that I get. The papers are nice. I'm able to use watercolors on there, and all the supplies and things like that I'll be linking down below in the description if you want to check them out alongside with my affiliate codes. So I use this lilac powdered embossing thing, and like I said, I'm not a super professional on it, but I think it came out okay. I don't know, let me know what you think. I love the color and I love the contrast of it on the black bullet journal itself, and it definitely gives it a little bit more personality for kind of the year. So that kind of stamp, the moons and roses, kind of becomes a theme throughout the rest of the journal and that type of thing. Oh, as you saw there, I was playing Candy Crush in like breaks as I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with my journal, and I got to this level and it just wouldn't stop exploding. I think for like 20 minutes straight it just kept going and going and going, which was pretty crazy. For the intro or beginning artwork of my journal, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do or what I wanted to paint, and I kind of wanted to do something green and I just couldn't really figure out or didn't really have an inspiration. So I went into my kind of archive collective of dried greens, leaves, and herbs and found this fern, which I thought would be a perfect way to kind of open up the book too. And I was thinking that it might be a little bit too fragile to kind of be like right in the entrance, right at the beginning of my bullet journal, so I did a little plastic piece over it just to kind of protect it a little bit more, and so hopefully it doesn't get as used up or scattered, shattered, that type of thing. Hopefully it'll preserve the life of it a little bit longer. And then my other conundrum was just to how I wanted to start off the year. I played around with a couple fonts of doing the numbers for 2021. I played around writing it out in various ways. So I figured I would use my little letter puncher thingy and try to work with it this way. So I went with a very almost hipster-esque way of labeling 2021 and actually using the words for it, but I like the way that the brown came out with the washi tape, as you'll see, and how it has like a little bit of a sparkle and it kind of mimics the fern on the other page. I don't know, I think it came out fairly nice. I enjoy opening to that page and looking at it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. As always, I would love to hear people's opinions and thoughts and stuff like that on it. But I just love the color combination and how that green is almost an identical green to the fern, but has like a little bit of a sparkle and pizzazz, and it's not overwhelming, and it looks kind of cute, like peeking out through those letters. I don't know. I enjoyed this page, this intro, and I think I'm gonna like turning to this page when I start working on my journal. I'm hoping that in the next year, all the craziness and chaotic stuff happening in this year kind of goes away or dies down just a little bit, and I hope that next year is going to be a lot better, brighter, and more cheerful than this one. At least those are my hopes, and I hope that's going to become a reality. So here is the intro page for 2021. Oh my goodness, it's just a few days away, pretty much. Oh my gosh. And of course, whenever I try to do something creative or artistic, my little kitty decides to show up. I ended up blowing out the candle because I didn't want her to set her whiskers on fire. But she just climbed on top of my table and demanded cuddles. This is Lila, and she is my little kitty cat. And she likes to do the thing with her paw where she kind of like hugs my hand as I scratch her. It's super cute, but her nails are kind of pointy, but it's still super cute. Just showing some kitty love. Lots and lots of kitty love. She would not leave me. She just continuously demanded cuddles. Alright, on to the next pages. So for this one, I wanted to start off with a yearly blessing, as I'm going to put on the left side, and on the right side, me folding up the paper, is going to be a letter to myself, and I won't allow myself to open it or read it until next year. And I think it'll be a very fun thing to kind of read and look over and go through in a year, and just to see how much things have changed. And that's one of the things that I love about doing a bullet journal, is just there's so much creative aspect that goes into it, at least for mine, and it's almost like a diary or a scrapbook throughout the year of kind of how my ideas go, my creativity, my passions, colors, all of that stuff. And I just love flipping through the pages and seeing how much I've changed or grown and that type of thing. So I'm going to decorate the pages a little bit and do the blessing just so it stays in my journal as I've done in the previous one, and have the letter for the following year. Oh, I'm kind of really excited about it on next year, just to open things up. And I already forgot what I wrote in there. Kind of, sort of. I mean, I kind of have an idea of what I wrote in there, but like the details, I definitely have forgot already. So it'll be fun to check it out in about a year. That'd be pretty cool. And on the following side page or whatnot, I'm doing a spread to do my yearly tarot read, which I've done on my previous journal as well. That way I can kind of see how my year will go and just see how accurate it's going to be a year later. And I love doing things like that, and I love reading it back, especially sometimes things don't make exact sense as I do the reading, but then time goes by and I flip back to the page and then I reread it and I'm just like, oh my gosh, now I know exactly what it means. So that is so cool to do, and I do a lot of journaling when I do my other tarot readings and things like that. It's just very nice to kind of flip back to and take a look at. Now for this spread, I'm doing another photo album page, kind of, sort of, I guess, however way to describe it. I done it in my previous bullet journal as well, and it's kind of like picture for every month, that type of thing. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So each month I pick a picture that kind of represents that month, and it turns into this little scrapbook page type of situation, however way to describe it. And it's just so much fun seeing the pictures and having those memories, and it's just wonderful and delightful. I decided to keep going with the brown and greens and golds theme, and that will be like the background for the pictures as the picture gets glued on top. But yeah, oh, I'm so excited to fill that up. And I'm only doing 6 months because this bullet journal is going to be just 6 months long. That way I have enough room to kind of do all my spreads, write all my notes, do all my things, and I don't have to worry about running out of a bullet journal, because I'm a type of person that over plans everything, and I like things to be kind of synchronous, or how do I describe it, in a similar style, that type of way. So yeah, maybe it's just me being kind of an oddball, but I like things to be a certain way at certain times. Maybe it's a little bit of an OCD type of thing, or a perfectionist type of thing, but yeah, just for 6 months, this bullet journal, so I don't have to worry about running out of anything. And this page is another mirror of my previous bullet journal. It is a template of kind of how many lines across and how many lines down, that type of thing. That way I don't have to keep counting everything, keep coming back to it. And I have sections already kind of sectioned off. That way if I need, like a 2x4 bar or whatnot, I already know kind of what the layout is going to be. That way I don't have to spend time counting everything out, and I feel like that little cheat sheet for bullet journal spread really helps out in my planning later on. And of course, adding in a little bit more of that brown paper scrap stuff to the journal. And stickers. Lots and lots of stickers. Using stickers is probably one of my favorite things to do. Continuing on, using some stamps. So during this bullet journal spread, I didn't do too much painting or too much artwork. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit on the quicker side. And there is my little kitty again, wanting and demanding cuddles. Oh, I forgot to blow out the candle that time, so if she thankfully did not singe any of her whiskers. Whoops. But I didn't do too much hand painting or watercolor paintings at the start, or even much of calligraphy. I wanted to be a little bit simple, and to be honest, I was kind of having a difficult time being creative. This month has been a little bit of a struggle for me health-wise, and a little bit like sanity-wise, if that makes sense. So I still wanted to be creative and do my journal, but I didn't feel like fully creative in my fully creative prowess, if that makes sense. Maybe that's a little bit too much information of my sanity, which isn't always great, but yeah, that's the result of my bullet journal for this month because of everything. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna end it at that. I really enjoyed incorporating similar style stamps or the same stamps throughout the bullet journal, just to kind of give it a little bit more connectivity or synchronicity, if that makes sense, but kind of change things up just a little bit so it's like so it's the same exact stamp but decorated in like a slightly different way. I don't know if that makes sense to you or anything. And the quote that I wrote here is, "We are only human and the gods have fashioned us for love. That is our great glory and our great tragedy." Wow. Let me try this again. "We're only humans and the gods have fashioned us for love. That is our great glory and our great tragedy." And that is from Game of Thrones. And that's kind of what I do when I do my bullet journal or when I journal or when I do some artsy things. I love to listen to audiobooks or podcasts or things like that. And it just keeps my mind slightly occupied, but not occupied too much, and I feel like I can get some reading done. And Game of Thrones is one of my favorite book series ever, and it was like a really great show, that type of thing, but the books are so much better. These couple spreads, I'm doing a year at a glance type of sort of situation. So each of those things that you see is a month or will be a month with all the dates on there, or any important type of dates on the side, like any holidays, birthdays, my subscription box launches, or any important things for my Etsy shop. Hint, hint, wink, wink. If you want to check those links out, they'll be down in the description below. And that type of thing for the months. Again, everything is in that browns, neutrals, and greens theme, just to keep everything similar throughout the start of the pages. Watching back my video and kind of editing through it, there's just something so satisfying about having like a speed through of numbers being written down. Not just for my videos, I watch other people do their bullet journal videos, and there's just something so satisfying of like that continuous writing thing. I don't know what it is exactly, but I find it very pleasing. Very pleasing to watch. And then I'm using stickers to mark down the numbers of the months. These stickers are leftovers from my happy planner days. I have a couple plan with me's when I used to use a happy planner and then switched over to the bullet journal. So those are a couple stored or hoarded stickers that I have in my ever-growing immense collection. And now the fact that I'm making my own stickers just makes everything so much worse, because now if I have an idea of a sticker that I want, I can just make it instead of having to go look for it, which kind of blows my mind. But it also means that I have way too many stickers now. Yeah. Although I could argue that there really is no such thing as too many stickers. I don't know, what do you think? Is there such thing as too many stickers or not? I mean, as long as they're organized and kind of have their own home on a shelf, they're okay. If they're sprawled across my desk like they are right now because I haven't cleaned up after my bullet journal spreads, then I guess it's a little bit too much. But they're gonna be cleaned up and they're gonna be put away. Yeah, at some point, eventually. Okay, these two pages are another quote that I tried to use a different technique on, that like almost watercolor type of painting thing, and I put another quote there that I just absolutely adore, and my husband mentioned it before, and it says, "Do no harm, take no shit," and I guess it's kind of like I believe it's a play on the Witch's Rede or the Wiccan Rede of "Harm none, do what ye will." And it's kind of a little bit more of like a modern interpretation, almost, sort of, kind of it. And it's just like, do no harm, but take no shit, which I kind of take to heart. On the other side is again a copy from my past bullet journal and a page that I've turned to quite frequently, and this is my little witchy cheat sheet of correspondences, and I have information on the moon phases, days of the week, colors, and kind of a little cheat of my planner and little symbols that I use for my planner. So this is like a little turn to page of things to keep in mind and things that I don't have to remember exactly. So there is that. On the other 2 pages, I did a Wheel of the Year spread, which I turned into a sticker. That is my Wheel of the Year. It was part of the December box, and it's up on my Etsy shop if you would like to check it out. It has all the zodiac signs and all the Sabbats or Esbats, Sabbats and Esbats on there as well. And on the other side of the pages, I did a days and correlation correspondence. I copied it out of my Spell a Day book by Llewellyn, however you pronounce the author's name or the publishing company's name. I'm not entirely sure if Llewellyn is the author. I think it's more of like the publishing company, and it's just a combination of various authors together. So a little bit of a decorated witchy Wheel of the Year. That way I know when all the kind of important holidays are, at least for me. And on the other page, as you will see, it is just a spread of a ton of dates and their correspondences. I adore those little herb jars from Sticky Club that I received a few months back. Oh my goodness, I think they are just the cutest stickers ever. As you can see, I'm referencing my layout spread already, and that way I'm able to kind of organize things fairly quickly. So these correspondences go by a specific category and a specific date. For instance, they have the categories of health and healing, protection, success, heart and love, clearing or cleaning, home, meditation, and divination. That will be on the top, and on the left, it's just the months, and in the center are a ton of dates of things that correlate to the best times to do that kind of spell work or rituals or that type of thing, which I think is pretty darn cool. For example, for doing any clearing or cleansing on January the 17th is the best day to do it, or doing any sort of meditation or divination, the strongest day in July for that is on July 3rd, and that type of thing. So all of these days are not the days that you're supposed to be doing that type of spell work. It's just the alliances or correspondences are the strongest for that specific topic. Same thing for instance, Monday is the day of the moon, and it is a day of female energy and that type of thing. So it's just a bunch of correspondences aligning together in like the most potent way, if that makes sense. And that's kind of how I like to do my spell work it around alongside with the zodiacs, astrological timings, days, times. I know it's a little bit detailed and extra and probably not really necessary to do, but I just feel comfortable working that way, and then adding in crystals, herbs, and tons of other synchronicities and correlations. The next couple of pages I'm kind of going to just breeze through so you don't have to be stuck watching all of the same thing over and over again. And these are my schedules. So I have my YouTube posting schedule, my Etsy shop posting schedule, my subscription box schedule, and my Instagram posting schedule. That way I can be kind of on top of things and incorporated into my daily life, because I'm the type of person that gets so like enthralled in a specific project that I'm doing that I completely forget about the rest of the world. So doing these dates or setting myself timelines and responsibilities just kind of helps keep me on top and helps me get a little bit ahead. Although that doesn't always work out, I'm not always ahead, but sometimes that happens, and I'm a lot less stressed out when that does. So I try to get ahead of things and I do my best to just kind of like work through everything. I have so many ideas, so many projects planned, and that just kind of helps my brain stay organized. Let's go with that. This little spread that I'm doing here is when I started running out of my gold marker. I love that gold marker. It's like you're painting with liquid gold. I used watercolors before that were very nice and shiny and opaque, but this marker is just like perfection and super easy, and I don't have to deal with water. So this spread is on the right side is going to be an I am page, just to kind of help empower me on some of my sad days, and a little bit of affirmations and kind of like an uplifting type of page. And on the right side is a page of my favorite quotes or anything like that that I've heard that I enjoyed and I just kind of want to keep and write down. So this spread here is going to be my pen pal spread, so to speak. I have a separate notebook where I put down pen pal information in a lot more detail and kind of just put down themes that I used and more information when they sent me stuff, when I sent them out stuff, because even though I try to be on top of things, I kind of respond a little slowly to my pen pals, and this is just going to be their names and addresses. That way I don't have to kind of have more than one notebook with me, and if I'm going to be replying or writing a letter down on the fly, I can just open up my bullet journal and have the addresses right there. I think for this spread, I was a little bit inspired by the holiday season right now and gift tags and kind of lights, but I turned it more into like an earthy tone color. I don't know, they kind of remind me of like vintage light bulbs a little bit and like gift tags a little bit. I don't know. But it was kind of cute. I like that spread. On these two spreads, it's going to be my goals that I want to set for myself. For instance, by the end of the 6 months, I'm hoping to reach 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, maybe sort of, and like hoping to reach 1,000 subscribers on Instagram, maybe sorta. I mean, those are my hopes and goals and plans and wishes. But we shall see how things go. And on the left side, it was supposed to say books, not book. I just realized that I misspelled it, but that's okay, I guess. The little bit of the little bit of a perfectionist in me is kind of cringing a little bit, and I want to go back and redo that page, but I'm just gonna let it go. Take a deep breath and just let it go. Yep. So on the left side are the books, plural, that I'm going to read in the 6 months. Hopefully that's not a foreshadowing of just me reading a singular book in the 6 months. I do hope to read multiple, but we shall see, I guess. Then I skipped a couple pages in case I want to add anything else for the yearly, and I already separated the 6 months into kind of their own little sections with equal amount of pages because I plan ahead in a crazy way, and I wanted to try out cutting out tabs for those months. That way it might be a little bit easier for me to kind of flip to them. Just trying out something different. We'll see how it goes, see how it works. It was a little bit of a pain in the butt to kind of go through it and cut them all out, but I managed, and that's kind of like the last part of the bullet journal that I did. Yeah, I did all 6 months of it, and I hope it's going to be helpful. If not, I won't do it for next bullet journal. Alright, so here is a flip through the beginning of my 2021 bullet journal, and I am excited that I got to open a brand new notebook and write in a brand new notebook and start crafting in it and creating it my own. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, the whole shebang. Let me know which spread was your favorite, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye! Oh, and before you leave, I just wanted to point out that this isn't the only thing that I'm going to be using throughout the year. I also have my diary, my to-do lists, and a ton of witchy books for the year. So here's kind of my yearly review. All right, that's it. Bye.